Hello, I'm Yoconda Guerra Perez, Executive Associate Vice Chancellor for Diversity at the University of Illinois Urbana-Champaign. I would like to welcome you to the virtual Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Creative Expressions Competition. We are grateful that we are able to still celebrate the life and legacy of Dr. Martin Luther King through this virtual celebration. 2020 has been very challenging. Most students or teachers are doing work remotely, and some parents are working from home. We all have to learn to do things differently. As we celebrate the 20th year of this competition, I would like for you to remember that each of you are special in your own way, and in your own way, you can make a difference. We will be wiser, smarter, and stronger once we come through the COVID pandemic. I would like to thank the College of Education, the Champaign-Urbana School District, for preserving this tradition by encouraging and inspiring students to participate in this year's Martin Luther King Jr. Creative Expression Competition. Enjoy this year's presentations. Thank you.
Hello, I'm James D. Anderson, Dean of the College of Education, and I want to welcome everyone to the 20th Martin Luther King Jr. Expression Competition. Thank you for coming. Over the 20 years, it's been an amazing array of art and poems and music and it's been very, very inspirational for me to observe the talents of our young people and what they've done. I also want to thank the parents and families who support them, as well as the teachers. When we meet in person, I'm always gratified to look out into the audience and see the administrators and teachers from Urbana and Champaign. And so every year, this has been a wonderful competition. We cannot ignore or not say something about the pandemic because it's been a challenge for all of us. And I want to say a special thanks to everyone who has been persistent and has endured the pandemic and come through with amazing talent in spite of it. I like the idea that it doesn't stop us from being inventive and creative. We look forward to continuing this. This is a very important event for the College of Education. And frankly, I can't wait to return to an in-person presentation of everything. I love to see all of the young people, their siblings in the audience. It just sort of rounds out what we're trying to do and reminds us what a College of Education is for: teaching, learning, helping every young person to reach their highest potential. And this contest is a part of that. So I want to congratulate all the winners on this 20th anniversary and say a special thanks to everyone who's helped them.
Hello, welcome to the 2021 MLK Creative Expressions Competition and Celebration. Each year for the past 20 years, the Center for Education in Small Urban Communities, in collaboration with the university-wide Martin Luther King Jr. Celebration Committee, conducts a creative expressions competition, inviting school children from grades 2 through 12 to respond to a prompt drawn from Dr. King's messages in any medium they choose. Over these 20 years, hundreds of students have responded with essays, poems, songs with original music, movies, presentations, and artwork with the assistance of dedicated teachers who have shared the lessons of Dr. King with them. The MLK Essay Contest has a very special place in my heart. You see, I was very fortunate as a kid growing up in segregated Richmond, Virginia. How was I fortunate, you might ask? Weren't there things that the all-Black schools lacked? Indeed, there were, but I lived just one block from the only Black library, Rosa D. Balzer Library. I could go there every day after school and get lost in stories. I must have read everything about King Arthur and the Knights of the Round Table, Sir Lancelot, Queen Guinevere. In much the same way, not everyone has access to laptops or high-speed downloads or the best software today. Many of my schoolmates did not live close enough to be able to walk over to the library after school. I also had these really great people there in the library. They corrected me when I mispronounced a word or needed help with my spelling. So I was indeed a fortunate one. This year, with the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic and the personal losses that so many of us have endured, it has not been an easy year to continue this activity. But as Dr. King would remind us, if we only do that which comes easy, we might not always do that which is right. Quoting Dr. King, I believe that unarmed truth and unconditional love will have the final word in reality. This is why right, temporarily defeated, is stronger than evil triumphant. Time is always right to do what is right. So today, we do what we believe is right and gather again to recognize the creative expressions of our young authors and artists. We sincerely thank the educators and parents who continue to do what's right. Let's continue to build on King's challenge and support the effort it will require to come back stronger than ever before. The center, as part of the University of Illinois and as a land-grant university, has a fundamental commitment to serving the people of the state of Illinois in ways great and small, a commitment to being fully engaged in the community, which is its home place. Together, we can continue to build on the teachings and legacy of Martin Luther King. In closing, I want to thank the families, students, and educators who have encouraged and supported this program over the years. I congratulate today's winners and wish them Godspeed. Thank you.
The name of this poem is called Dear Black Boy. So, Dear Black Boy, move slowly when you're pulled over by a cop. If you move too quickly, it'll be your last. When pulled over, slowly put your hands on the dashboard. If they can't see your hands at all times, they can use it as an excuse to feel threatened and shoot. Don't ever walk alone at night if you don't have to. A black boy walking with his hood on is all the reason they need. You're taught these things for survival as a product of the corrupt system where the white power always wins. You get gunned down by cops and no one blinks an eye. The blood of my brothers shed on the pavement go unseen by the public eye. It's the ugly. All they see is the ugly. Another black boy on the news died today. Oh well, they shouldn't have been in the streets. Then turn the channel. Because it's the ugly, the hood, ghetto. Everyone sees the ugly. Another little boy got shot in the hood. What's the big deal? That's what happened in the hood, isn't it? Yes, it is. It's also backyard parties with granny old fold-up lawn chairs and somebody uncle behind the grill with the biggest smile on his face laughing and dancing. It's also where I met my best friend for life that I still know to this day. But no one sees that. They see black bodies, your bodies, and violence. Just another product of the hood. But dear black boy, it's okay. Because the blood you've shed from being a product of the hood and police brutality will go unseen no longer. Because dear black boy, you will be remembered for how you were born, how you lived, and how you died. Dear black boy, we hear you and you are loved. My name is Denilah Nash. I'm in 8th grade and I go to Urbana Middle School. I know this world, hopefully, and I am praying and hoping that we will eventually get to the point where skin color or gender isn't a factor at all in everyday life, because fact of it is, no matter what we do, it's going to be a factor in there somewhere. So I figured my Black boys needed a voice, because this is something that happens every day. And like I said in my poem, people just look at it and change the channel. They will be so quick to judge, but they feel like it takes all the time in the world just to listen to their part of the story, when it doesn't. It doesn't take all the time in the world. All you have to do is sit and listen for like 5 minutes. Martin Luther King himself is just an inspiration, and he impacted our world back then. Like, he impacted our world now, possibly more than back then. And like, it's just kind of crazy to know that someone who did something as little as make a speech impacted the world for generations and generations to come. I personally wanted to thank my sister, Devana. She's the oldest of all 5 of us. I heard her poem, one of her poems, at her graduation ceremony back in like 2017. And I didn't realize when I heard her poem, it just kind of planted something in me that didn't start growing until it was kind of coaxed out and nurtured by my mentor, someone I also want to thank, Miss Ashanti. I really want to thank also my dad, because he has been supportive through all of it. So yeah, those are really the main ones I want to thank. Of course, all of my other family is spoken for, but want to give them some special recognition there.
I am Ariel Miller. I'm in 10th grade and I go to Judah Christian. Any like writing opportunity that I have, like to express how I feel about a certain situation that I feel highly on, I just jump on it. I'm ready to do it. I want to do it. So as I'm writing the paper, I'm like using all my feelings towards that about the people storming the Capitol. And that was a huge thing at the time, because a lot of African Americans felt a certain way about it, because they felt like if it was colored people, if it was Black people doing it, that all of us would have been killed or shot, or way more people would have been killed. And I was just writing about it. I was like, okay, this is not fair. And this is what I'm seeing. This is what I'm hearing from other people. And this is what's going on. There's this big world, and I'm this one little person, and not everybody's going to listen to me. Maybe nobody's going to listen to me. I feel like if I say something, it's not going to be heard by people, especially about African American injustices, like stuff like that, like the George Floyd incident and everything. There was so many people speaking on that, and I feel like it was so much stuff happening during that even if I did try to do something, somebody will label me as one of the people who's looting and doing all the crazy stuff when I was peacefully protesting. I feel like I'm gonna get dragged in to all that craziness that other people are doing, or I'm not going to get heard for what I'm trying to say, the point that I'm trying to make. And so that's what I was trying to say in there. I feel like there's nothing I can do. Like, I'm trying to make solutions and things that I could do. But then again, I do feel like I'm not going to get heard all the time. So I said, what does taking position for justice mean? To me, taking a position for justice means to take your rightful place in the society when it comes to discussing a matter that is affecting the world or community. In this society, there are a lot of injustices for a lot of cultures and a lot of different things. But the one thing that has stuck out to me the most, or the one thing that has caught a lot of attention of people because there is a light shed on it, is the Black injustices. I feel as though as a 15-year-old African American girl, there is nothing I can do to help my fellow Blacks, which is a problem. I feel as though there should always be even the slightest littlest things that I can do to show my support or to help other people understand that there is another way to show how disgusted we are with the circumstances of African American people getting killed by police officers. The police brutality. But I also feel as though to the African Americans who are just hurting people trying to get their points across, Why are we hurting these officers and people who didn't do anything? They are innocent people. I personally know a lot of police officers who are very good people and wouldn't hurt anybody unless they are forced to. One of my uncles is a police officer, and my best friend's parents and step parents are police officers. So I feel as though, why should we attack the people who are innocent, who are just trying to help us? They have families, they have people to go home to. And if we're out here hurting them, why is that okay? Thank you to my mother, my father, and my stepdad, my stepmom. Thank you to my Delta Gyms. Yeah.
Hello, my name is Mildred Trent. I am retired from the University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. But in my capacity as College of Education Assistant Dean for Academic Affairs, I served as administrator and coordinator of the Martin Luther King Creative Expressions Writing Contest for approximately 5 years until 2011. As a former elementary school teacher, my joy is seeing the program reach its 20th year. This derives from witnessing the affirmation and joy our children experience when their efforts and talents are recognized, applauded, complimented, and appreciated. My inspiration to continue that work through to my retirement is the result of witnessing the myriad ways in which our children found ways to illustrate their grasp of the teachings of Martin Luther King, whether in song, verse, art, or recitations. They always surpassed even my greatest expectations. Their efforts tell us it is right that we make sure that they have these opportunities to express their insights and understandings of one of history's greatest teachers. This generation will be challenged to continue the work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. for civil rights, equality, freedom, and social justice. Join me now in a journey through 20 years of gifts from our children and help me close with applause for them and the teachers who help them unlock and discover their talents.
I have a dream that Martin Luther King could tell us, could free us, could save us from injustice. We are all the same, so we came to tell you we need freedom, peace, and quiet. How do we stop? That's not cool, you wanna rule. Martin Luther King had a super strong tool. It was love, like no concern. He was so smart with his brain and heart, with his brain and heart, with his brain and heart. I have a dream that Martin Luther King can tell us, can free us, can save us from injustice. We are all the same, so we came to tell you we need freedom, peace, and quiet. How do we stop? That's not cool. You wanna rule. Martin Luther King had a super strong tool. With his brain and heart, with his brain and heart, with his brain and heart, with his brain and heart. I have a dream that Martin Luther King could tell us, could free us, could save us from injustice.
Hello, my name is Victor Perez. I want to thank you for joining us virtually to celebrate all of the winners of this year's MLK Creative Expressions Contest. Every year, we look forward to this moment as we're able to honor and celebrate very talented students from our local schools. To be sure, these students challenge each and every one of us who continue to find ways to make our communities and schools more inclusive and equitable. We look forward to next year's competition, and we hope that you will join us again. I want to thank Dean Anderson of the College of Education and the Office of the Vice Chancellor for Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for their ongoing support of this important event. I would also like to thank the campus-wide MLK Planning Committee for helping us bring this event to fruition. In particular, I would like to acknowledge Medra, Robert Sutherland, and Tori Exum, who served on a subcommittee for the community celebration event. We are honored and delighted that you were able to join us, and we truly appreciate your time. Congratulations once again to all the winners, and we hope to see you in 2022.